Hi, my name is Kathy Pelletier, and I have a friend standing in as my advisee, Betty. We are assuming that Betty has already done her intake, her CASAS, and her WOWI with us in her first meeting. Her intake CASAS shows that she could use a little help with her reading and math, but her WOWI does show a propensity for the healthcare fields. Betty is a single mother with one child. Hi, Betty.
Hi, Kathy.
So my assistant Tina let me know that you're here to talk about our healthcare programs.
Yep.
And that you've narrowed it down to the medical assisting or the phlebotomy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure which one's which though.
So phlebotomy would be the person that draws your blood, and the medical assistant would be someone who takes your history, your blood pressure, helps you get gowned for the doctor.
Okay.
But it would also come with a phlebotomy and an EKG technician certification.
Oh, okay.
So the phlebotomy program is 2 nights a week from 5:30 to 9, and the medical assisting is 3 nights a week from 5:30 to 9. They both run for 15 weeks.
Okay.
I think we could give you a detailed description of both courses so that you could take a look at it and see exactly what you would be learning.
That'd be good.
Okay. Unless you have a strong preference for one over the other, what I can tell you is the medical assisting will give you more options.
I was thinking the medical assisting. I'm a little nervous.
Okay, what makes you nervous?
I know my reading scores aren't quite up to scratch.
Okay, so one of the things that we do now is we have a healthcare academy.
Okay.
That will help you with your vocabulary, the reading skills, and your healthcare math. We'll also give an overview of the anatomy and physiology, and we'll give you a chance to get used to the hours and the rigor of the course. The Healthcare Academy is a 6-week session for free. It will give you a really strong idea and a good foundation for both courses. It's the same academy for both.
Does that come the 6 weeks before the 15 weeks of the class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And one of the things I see that you are a single parent.
Yeah.
So is your little one in school yet?
He is, but just until 2:30.
Just until 2:30. So all of our medical classes are at night.
Okay.
So do you think that you would have reliable childcare? One of the things that we do with medical assisting and with all of our healthcare courses, when you get into the medical field, they're pretty strict about being on time and working. And although some of the places do have flexible hours, they have certain staffing that they have to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty particular about when you can leave and when you can't. So we try to model our courses after the workplace scenarios.
Okay.
So one of the things we would want to have you get in place, and the Healthcare Academy can help you prep for that, is childcare. Do you have somebody who could help watch your child at night?
Do you know which days of the week?
Yes, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for the medical assisting.
And you said till 9?
Till 9.
I think his grandma can help us out.
Okay.
I'll have to check with her to be sure, but I'm pretty sure she gets out of work at 3, so I think that works.
Okay. And the phlebotomy is Monday and Thursday, so it'd be at least some of the same nights.
Yeah.
And it will give you a chance to really get a feel for what it'll be to do this kind of homework. And
is there a lot of homework?
I'm going to be very honest, there is.
Okay.
There's about 3 hours of homework for every hour of class.
Okay.
So what you will get at the end of the course is a national certification exam.
Wow.
It's portable. You'll be able to take it anywhere in the U.S.,
okay.
But it is a high-stakes exam, so we do really expect a lot of studying and prep work. So if you've thought about how many hours a week you'll be able to devote to your studying?
Outside of the class?
Yes.
I think, because I work part-time, I work in the mornings, I think I'll have a little bit after work before my kiddo gets off the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I can devote about 2 hours a day. During the week, though, the weekends I spend with my kiddo as much as I can. He's so cute.
So I have a little bit of concern about whether 2 hours a day would be enough.
Okay.
So I think, and with your needing a little bit of help with your reading and math, I think the Healthcare Academy might be a good prep for you to start.
I'm okay with that.
You're here with one of our partners is Eastern Maine Development Corps.
Yes.
So I think before you spent a lot of money on a course that you might find you can't put the hours in on,
Okay.
the Healthcare Academy is free. If it doesn't work out, you can withdraw at no cost to anyone.
Okay.
And we do really try to prep you. In addition to giving you the foundation to start those courses, you'll get anatomy and physiology, medical terminology, help with your reading and math, and you'll get some of the HIPAA laws and the legalities of everything. We'll also do a digital literacy certification. So that's
what would I use
your
that for?
technology.
Oh, okay.
So when you complete the Healthcare Academy, you would have an entry level. You wouldn't be able to be a medical assistant or a phlebotomist, but you might be able to go in as an entry level office position.
Oh, okay.
So it is well worth your time.
That's good because I'm getting really tired of flipping pizza.
So that's great. So you're thinking long
Sorry.
term about better pay and
Yeah.
finding something to do.
Yeah.
Yep. No,
Well,
I think that's wonderful.
I want to start planning. My little guy needs a future, you know. So, sorry, I don't want to get upset.
No, that's wonderful. And you'll find most of the employers in the healthcare field, once you get into the job, they will help you. If you're looking at moving forward and decide you want to advance your career, there's usually quite a bit of professional development and training
Okay.
from that point that you can do. One of the things they're looking for is to have an employee that's going to be on time, that's going to be an employee in good standing, basically. And if you can show that for a year, then they usually will help you advance your training if you'd like to do that. I know you can talk with Loretta at EMDC,
Okay.
and they may have some help with your childcare.
Yeah.
I can't promise you that, obviously, but I would talk to her about that if you need some help there.
Well, maybe I can ask my work to give me an earlier shift. That might free up some extra study time.
That would be good. I
Okay.
really do think you need to probably plan in about 3 hours a day or
Okay.
some weekend time.
Okay.
Each weekend.
I wish my little one still napped.
It would be nice. But, if he's got schoolwork, one of the
Yeah.
things you could do is have him do, you can do mommy and kiddo homework time.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe, set out a little snack and do your homework together.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that'd be one way to
I
do
can
it.
give
And
it a
kind of,
try.
yeah. And then it shows him that, just because you're all grown up doesn't mean you're done. So one of the other things I need to talk to you about is we do a background check. If you're going into the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
we do need to know if there's anything in your background. One thing that will definitely keep you out if there's any theft or abuse of someone that you were taking care of, whether it's a child or a parent. And you don't have to tell me, but I just want to let you know in all of our programs we do run a background check.
What about a parking ticket?
No, parking
Okay.
ticket would... Oh, excuse me. Parking ticket would not.
Okay.
If you have enough parking tickets, it's become a court issue.
2?
No,
Okay.
that shouldn't be at all.
All right.
What you're going to be looking at is arrestable type things.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Yeah, and you want to include everything because in the healthcare field, if you don't include something, shoplifting when you were 10 or whatever, you can get fired quicker than if you're giving everything up front.
Oh.
So that would be one of the things that we do talk about. If there's a prior drug conviction of any kind, then the medical assisting would probably not. It would be something you'd really have a harder time getting a job in.
Okay.
I can't tell you that you wouldn't because they look at the time frame.
Okay.
And each employer is different. A lot of employers are very willing to give someone a second chance. It depends on the severity, the type of drug. Phlebotomy, we do find they're a little more forgiving because you're not working with medications. But we can, when we get the background check back, sometimes people get surprised and they don't realize something they didn't think about is on there. And we can go over that when we get it. The other thing...
I've been wondering about something. I have,
Sure.
so, I just fixed it, so it should be okay, but sometimes my car gives me a little bit of trouble in the winter, and I just,
Okay.
what are the policies, like, if I have a breakdown, with my vehicle, what do I do? Like, is that a problem?
So your participation and attendance are 50% of your grade.
Yeah.
And part of that is because it is so important that you show up for work in the healthcare field.
Yes.
The other 25 is for quizzes and 25 for your final exam.
Okay.
So participation and attendance are huge.
Yeah.
The teacher in this class does not do makeups. She expects you to get with your classmates
Okay.
and get makeups done. So that if you're looking at very unreliable transportation, it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
Is there someone, is it just an occasional?
Yeah,
thing?
it's just when the temperature goes under -10, it like doesn't want to
Okay.
start up. But I can,
Okay.
I mean, I can see about maybe parking it somewhere where it's warmer. I
Well,
guess.
and sometimes some of our partners will help with that.
Oh, really?
It sounds like it may be, have you looked into what's causing it? It almost sounds like it might be your battery or something.
I can have Napa look at it. I can't really afford a mechanic, but maybe
Okay.
Napa can check my battery.
Okay. I do know that they do that as a
Yeah.
free service. So
Yeah.
if that's it, you might be able to get some help with the battery.
Okay.
Our partners are pretty good, especially when it's something. If not, we can explore a couple of other options
Okay.
with that. Is there a friend or someone that could maybe help you out if it was just a few times or?
I guess sometimes my Uncle Billy goes the same way.
Okay. That could work. It's better to come late than not come at all.
Oh, okay.
So if you know somebody that's coming in, any part of the course that you can get in is work that you haven't missed.
Okay.
You can kind of do the math out and see if I usually advise students that if you're looking at missing more than 3 or 4 in a semester, it's going to be a problem. If you're missing more than 2 in a row, it's a huge problem. It's almost impossible to come back from that.
Okay. I don't think it'll happen that often. I just get nervous about it.
Okay. When you get into the labs, that's very important to be there for those. So some of the classwork you can make up with your readings. You'll get a syllabus.
Okay.
If you do miss a class, you want to do the readings, you want to do the homework. Don't just wait till you come into the class. It'll be right in your syllabus.
Can I get help from your learning center during the class? Like if I'm struggling with the reading, can I come in and have that
Absolutely.
help?
We actually, both
Okay.
of our programs are on what they call an IET model, which is we're integrating the education and training. You can have help outside of that program,
Oh, okay.
but we also have the program. So what we do is we have a little mini lesson with things that we think the students will struggle with or things that the workforce training instructor has identified as trouble issues for most students.
Okay.
So things like you're probably going to encounter metric measurements.
Okay.
Yeah. So our healthcare math will prepare you for that
Okay.
because you're going to find that the healthcare field is heavily on the metrics. And you're going to get a thorough review in fractions and percentages.
Okay.
Pronunciation of the terms. We'll practice that. One of the other things that you need to know is that both classes you will be practicing the phlebotomy on each other.
Okay.
So you don't start out that way.
Mm-hmm.
You will be practicing on hot dogs, moving up to fake arms.
That's pretty funny.
And then the fake arm is fairly realistic. And
Okay.
then when the instructor feels you're ready, you'll be practicing on each other.
Is it bad that I, like, with other people I'm fine? Like, when I take my kiddo to the doctor, like,
Mhm.
that's totally fine. But when it's myself, I have to look away.
No, that's not bad at all.
Okay.
Most people do.
Okay.
Most people do. It actually, we find most of our students have a harder time sticking someone else.
Really?
Yes. And so you do have to, the agreement, I have a lot of students, we try to make this right up front. You have to sign an agreement that acknowledging, unless there's a health condition or your
Mhm.
doctor has a note excusing you for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
you do have to both allow someone to stick you
Mm-hmm.
and to stick them, because you don't want to, well, one, you need the practice, but two, you want to get over being nervous
Okay.
about doing that with a patient. You want to practice on both males and females.
Well, I used to give my mom her allergy shots, which is what originally made me think maybe I might be good at this, because I I didn't have any problem doing that for her. It's just
Oh, excellent.
when I get to, it's like, mm-mm.
Okay. Let's see. So your employer, did you believe the shifts are during the daytime?
I think so. They've been asking for somebody to take the 5 a.m. shift, and then it's hard for me because I'm used to getting my little guy off to school. But I think that my aunt and uncle can help with that. They live pretty close.
Okay.
So I'm hoping maybe they'll kind of jump in and help get him ready and on the school bus, and then I can just take the early shift.
So what are you working for shift right now?
I go in at 8. He hits the bus at 7:30,
Mm-hmm.
and I go in by 8. So it's a really tight, which is why I've kind of been nervous about the car, because sometimes the car won't start that early. Really early in the morning, it's really cold. So I've missed a couple of shifts over the past year. But maybe you'll get the battery looked at, I'm hoping.
Okay. What time do you get out?
Right now I get out at noon, but if I move my shift, I can get out at 10. So that will give me 3.5 hours before my kiddo comes home.
So
Plus lunch.
what I would like you to think about, just to be very realistic,
Okay.
if you're not getting out until 9 o'clock at night, and then you have to go home, and you'll probably be spending some time with your kiddo,
Yeah.
the 5 a.m.
No,
shift.
he better be in bed. Oh, what am I going to see? Oh, this is stressful.
Yeah, yeah. So the 5 a.m. shift, maybe your 8 to noon really actually doesn't sound too bad, as far as with the class.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you might find helpful is to do a pro and con list
Okay.
of staying at your current job or being able to move into another job. I like to remind my students that it's 15 weeks.
Right.
So it's really another 6 if you're going to do the healthcare
Okay.
academy. So it is very intensive,
Okay.
and I'm not going to lie, you're gonna spend some time away from your family studying, unless you can do the buddy system with the studying.
Okay.
It is very short term. In one semester, 15 weeks, you'll be ready to go, and this will give you hopefully what you want for higher pay, better job, health benefits.
You know, it should be warming up in about a month. Do you think it would be better to wait until then, and then I wouldn't have to worry so much about the car? Or
So,
is that, I don't want to wait too long because I'm really excited. But
so the Healthcare Academy is much more forgiving
okay.
because we're prepping you to get used to the attendance.
Okay.
And you can come into that and practice, and we do allow makeups for that.
Okay.
And that gets you geared up and kind of gets you in the practicing.
Okay.
Getting there. So if you were to miss something, we tape a lot of those classes because we understand students are getting into the routine of coming to class. They're getting used to what it's like to be away from their family at night. And by the time the Healthcare Academy was done, then it would be into warmer session, and we would be starting in late May.
Oh, okay.
So you would be done before cold weather starts.
Okay.
You'd have the summer. Do you have childcare in the summer?
Usually I drop him off with my mom.
Okay.
That should be okay this summer.
Okay. So maybe that will give you a little more time. He's not in school so much to
Yeah.
spend with him.
Well, and he spends 3 weeks at an away camp too that
So-
he loves with the Boy Scouts.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be 3 weeks where I won't have.
Okay.
I won't have him.
That would be great.
Yeah.
For your schoolwork, you maybe could try to get ahead a little bit.
Yeah, they're double sessions too, so I could talk to them about having him go to both. That would be 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more money, but I could look into it.
Okay. But just keep in mind, do your pro and con list.
Okay.
Your concerns for what you want to have happen, and what it's going to take to get there.
So if I decide to go for the medical assisting program and that comes out on my pro list, what's my next step with Forks or with my agency? What do I do next?
So the agency has to have your training forms in place before you go into the paid portion of the class.
Okay.
And that would be the actual medical assisting or the phlebotomy.
Right.
For the Healthcare Academy,
Yeah,
it
that
is a
part.
free offering that we're doing for this semester.
Okay.
And you would not have to have your training approval before that. You could start that on your own.
So I could start like next week.
Yeah, we actually start in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
In 2 weeks.
Okay.
And we provide supplies for that. You don't have to have your scrubs or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay.
We provide everything. We give you a foundation and help you get prepared
Okay.
for the next class. You would want to start now, though. It can be a process with the agencies to get the training approvals in.
Okay.
And this way you won't have to rush. You would be working on that while you're at the Free Healthcare Academy. You want to, either way, there's a supply list for both classes.
I guess I'm okay. So I don't mean to be lost. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But so if I decide, say tomorrow, that I
Mhm.
would like to start in 2 weeks, is it you folks that I call or my agency?
Oh, it's going to be us that you call for the
Okay.
Healthcare Academy.
Okay.
But at the same time, so you call us to register for the Healthcare Academy.
Okay.
You want to start working on getting your training approval for your class.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it can take
Okay.
4 to 6 weeks to get everything, to get a training plan,
Okay.
get your meetings in with EMDC.
Okay.
And
This is a
the
lot.
supply list, it is a lot. It is a lot. So the supply list for both, they will help you with. It's about $200 to $300. So if you're concerned about that, it's scrubs, shoes, stethoscope. EMDC normally helps their participants with that, their clients. So that is something that I pretty much across the board.
Okay. And being plus size isn't a problem?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
We've had some larger students,
Mm-hmm.
and it's one of them was nice enough to come in and model for me,
Yeah. That's nice.
and was willing to pass it on. They were taller, as you are, and they actually had special ordered the scrub top
Yep.
to come down 3 inches longer.
Ah.
Yeah, and it
That's
was
cool.
really nice, and I had never thought of doing that, but they were taller in the torso.
Yep.
And a little bigger in the tummy, and that way the person was very concerned when they lifted their arms or
Yeah,
did things that
me
their belly would.
too.
Yep, and they just asked them to put 3 inches of extra material,
Okay.
and they special ordered them that way, and
And they'll help with
it
that?
really looked nice. Yeah, it was not that much extra money.
Okay.
So how EMDC, and again, you would want to check with them because I can't promise for them. But what I've seen in the past is they have a particular amount of money. You have your supply list,
Okay.
and then it's up to you how you spend it amongst those.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you, Kathy. I guess I
You're
have some
welcome.
thinking to do.
Is there any other questions or any other information that I could give you?
No, it sounds like I need to talk to my family and make sure that I have a reliable ride and childcare.
Okay.
I really appreciate you meeting with me today.
Great. I'm glad. I'm just trying to think. It seems like there's something else that. Oh, your exam fees.
Oh.
So the national exam is a little bit less for the phlebotomy,
Okay.
a little bit more for the medical assisting, but your agency will most likely pay for that as well. So you want to talk
Okay.
to them about that.
Okay.
That doesn't come to us. That goes straight to the national
Oh.
exam. We do them here on site, so you
Oh.
don't have to travel.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's a little different than how they do the CNA work.
Okay.
And it is done paper and pencil. It's not on computers yet. So, anything else at all that I can answer for you?
No, it just sounds like I need to get things all situated.
Okay.
And then
So
come
why
back in.
don't you think about it a little bit? Do you want to make another appointment to come back in so
Yeah.
we can talk about things?
Let me look at my calendar if you don't mind.
No, not a bit.
Are you folks open every day of the work week?
We are. We close a little bit earlier on Fridays.
Okay. I think I can make a decision by Monday. Is
Okay.
there an appointment time that you have open on that date?
We can see you anytime after 10 o'clock on Monday.
Okay, I think I get out of work and can be there at 12:30.
Okay, that would work fine.
Okay.
And you can meet with me on that. We can, and if you decide that you don't want to go into these programs, or that if you decide that you'd like to go into a program outside of our facility.
Mm-hmm.
Please feel free to come into the healthcare program and get your math and English worked on. You
Okay.
can do that. If you don't want to do the nights for the healthcare academy, and are looking at maybe going up to the community college, or I know you were looking at some of the programs up there as well.
Yeah, I really like this so far, but yeah.
Okay. But look at all your options.
Okay.
And although we would love to have you as a student, I want you to explore everything.
Okay.
We are more than happy. We have a college transitions program,
Okay.
and we can specifically help you with the English and math if you decide that you do want to go to the Eastern Maine Community College. I know you were looking at their nursing program. A lot of our students start with us, too.
Yeah, it sounds like I want to, but it sounds like the medical assisting or phlebotomy is going to be the time that I have to dedicate right now. It
Well,
sounds like the nursing program, when I talked to them, it's a lot all at once.
It is, and I believe it's a 2-year program, 18 months to 2 years. But this will get you to work,
Okay.
and then when your child is maybe a little older,
Yeah.
it sounds like you'd really like to. It sounds like you'd like to get into a job right away.
Yeah, he's only 6, so yeah.
and so this will allow you to get to work and get a feel for it,
Okay.
and then you can move on from there if you'd like. This doesn't have to be the last stop. You can continue to move up through your career.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent.
All
So
right.
we will see you at 12:30 on Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will see you then.